Today we've got the Yamaha Crosscore RC, and I posted some videos earlier today, and I've got some questions popping up about this bike, and I realized that there were a few things that I talked about that I didn't cover, and things that I did cover on the Wabash that I might not have covered here. One of those things being the battery. I didn't show how to take the battery out of the machine, so that's what I'm going to cover. Also, I want to cover my little apparatus to hold the battery tray closed, based on my experience, and what I've used so far and how it's worked. And that's about it for the update as far as what today's video is going to be about. So if that interests you, then stick around. If not, then go check out one of my other videos. But anyway, first things first, one of the things that I mentioned in my video whenever I was doing the 100-mile review was that I had to put this handy dandy little set of zip ties on here to keep this battery tray from popping open. It had worked so far. What I ended up doing was just putting two zip ties just like this together, wrapped it around, kept it under one of the bosses for the water bottle or whatever you want to use this for. And then it just basically holds this tray closed the whole way. It is cinched down. I did chop off the zip ties, so I'm not going to be able to reuse them the same way that I wanted to. Just so you guys know, I did not know this. I seen this on a TikTok video earlier this week, but apparently you can undo these. So I always thought that once the zip tie was done, like that was it. That was the end of life for the zip tie. You can see this thing's closed. And I thought, oh, you have to cut it off here, and then maybe you could come back and you could just, reuse it if you cut like way, way down here, right? But as a result of this video that I watched, they showed me if you take a pair of pliers and squeeze this, it comes undone. I did not know that that was the case. And yeah, if you didn't know that, comment down below and let me know. If you did know that, also comment down below and let me know. See, I want to know how people figured this out, because I have worked with zip ties my whole life. I've basically zip tied the last 3 of my cars together on the front end whenever needed. And I did not know that I could reuse them in this way. Now, I will say, I've been tooling around with this, and it does work, but it is not always the best result. Yeah, there we go. So a couple of things that I've done whenever I was messing around with this, I did find that it didn't fasten really, really well originally, so I had to kind of squeeze it and mess around with it to get it to close back again to the typical way that you would expect a zip tie to operate. But yeah, let me know down below if that was something that you guys just learned today. Anyway, back to the bike. Let's get to the point of taking the battery out. So I'm going to cut this one. There we go. Got it. So I did that up against a little plastic piece. Seems to have worked. I end up with what was essentially 2 zip ties put together in order to hold this stuff. Okay. So now that we've got the zip ties off, my makeshift way of keeping this battery tray from popping open, let's get to the point of getting this battery out and swapping it if we wanted to, but we're not going to swap it today. I don't have an extra battery for it. I did order the battery through the dealership, but I haven't received it, and I haven't received word on when that would come to me at all. So anyway, so you're going to take your key, you're going to put it in here. Actually, first of all, you're going to pop this little thing open. Put your key in here, flip it to open. This tray is going to pop open, similar to what I was talking about whenever you ride. You probably can't see it really, really well. Let me see if I can adjust the camera. Okay, cool. So now it's got this little bit open right here. And so I had an individual that was saying that they were having problems with getting it open after this. I don't know what issue you're facing, but you also have to pull this little thing up, and then it should just slide just like that. It does not open up further than this. It makes you think that it should open further than this, but that's not, it shouldn't open up any further than that. And if you just be careful whenever you open this up, because the battery might be dislodged in here, and it might fall directly to the floor. Obviously, it didn't do that here. So let's see if I can get this battery out. It's not so easy to get out. Okay. So, just so you can see it, you didn't see me mess with it, but essentially what I did was I pushed the battery up and then pulled back on it. And that's because it has these little tangs. These little tangs hold it in this tray at the bottom. So this is the battery. This is where it connects. There's a connection up here, and this basically plugs up into that. And then this seats down into this tray right here, and then it's held in place. And then you just flip this tray up in order to put it back in place, right? I originally thought that this whole thing came off because there's 2 bolts right here, but that's not the case. I took these 2 bolts off whenever I had my Wabash. I put them right back on before I opened it up. I think, I could be wrong, someone correct me, whoever has the bike. I think the mountain bike actually requires you to take these 2 bolts off to get it off. I don't think it actions like this. Could be wrong. I haven't seen it yet. Comment down below if you guys know of a video where somebody talks about taking the battery out of one of the Maros. That would be cool to see. But anyway, this is what the battery looks like. It is a X1V-00 model, 36 volts, 13.4 amp hours, 500 watt hours. Those are the details right there. And essentially, that's how you get the battery out. If you were going to swap it out, that's what you would do. So now that we've got the battery out, we're going to put the battery back in. Super easy to do so. Take it here, slide it up. Make sure that you got your tangs pointed towards the front of the bike and on the bottom. You start sliding it in this tray, and then you should hear it lock. There's an audible click that it's locked. Now it's in place. Now you just close it like that. Turn your key. Actually, no, your key should already action. So the key already actioned. And then just close it down. And voila, there you go. That's how you take the battery out of a Yamaha Crosscore RC. That's pretty much it. Now that we've got that figured out, I'm going to see if I cannot put this back together. All right, one out, one to go. Second one off. Which one is shorter? Let's see. Okay, that's the shorter one. We're going to end up using this longer one. So yet again, I'm going to use a new one. I'm going to fasten it to here. See, that's what I'm talking about. So now the action's not as good as it was prior. Kind of have to mess with it a little bit to be able to get it to do its thing. Okay, cool. Got it. All right. And I'm not saying that you should reuse zip ties, but it looks like you can. So then what you do, take this, and I specifically did it around this lower boss right here. Make sure you're lower than that. Zip tie it right there. And you should be good to go. And there you go. That is my battery fix for keeping this tray closed. That's how you take the battery out. That's how you put the battery back in. That's the watt hours and the brand of the battery. Everything covered. If you guys have any other questions, comment down below. Let me know what it is. I'll try to cover it. If you like the video, give me a like. And if you want to see more content related to this bike or other bikes I have in the garage, consider subscribing. Thanks. Out.